Hey, I'm Curtis. Welcome to the show. Quick opening. Gonna get inside, make barbecued baked beans, share some tips with you. Also, prep a Cornish hen. And next week, we'll have Mama's Buttermilk Fried Chicken. Peace, spread love. Hope you enjoy the show. Baked beans. Now, this is a simple recipe for baked beans. I'm going to use some pre-made barbecue sauce, store-bought barbecue sauce. I'm also going to use, which I love, are my Van de Kamp pork and beans. As a kid, I'd love beans and weenies. And the weenies, I like to cook hot dogs and put them with the pork and beans. Kid stuff, right? Loved it. Still do to this day. When I was with the Food Network, we were in Massachusetts and did an authentic baked bean recipe. It was outside Boston. I think we were in Lowell, but it was Boston baked beans they were doing. They were really good. We used some of the maple syrup that was tapped from the trees. It was absolutely incredible. I'm not doing that today. As a sweetener, I'm going to use some brown sugar. Do a little Rolling Stones if I want to there. I've got bacon. These are the ingredients, I should say. I've got my beans, sugar, onions. Now, both of these are from the garden, and I think I've shared with you in so many times how I don't like to waste things. So that little bit of onion there, I'm going to dice it up and use as well. Bacon, we'll get to that. I've also got a trick I'm going to share. Well, not trick, just one of my portion savers. Lately, I get a lot of mail and questions about cooking for one or two, and that's what I do with Lisa and I. So it's just two of us, and I try to prep things so it makes it easier. Like when we're making burgers, she loves sliders. It's a smaller portion, so I like to make sliders for her and for me, and it keeps me from having to eat so much if I make a smaller portion. And I'm going to share that with you with my bacon in a minute. So we got bacon, the onions, pepper. This is a pepper that's been in the fridge. It's one I grew in the garden, so I may not use all of it. There may be some soft spots in there. If I'd have bought the pepper, I'd try to use every bit of it, right? I don't like to waste things. That pre-made, the store-bought barbecue sauce, I've got about maybe 3 ounces or so. Worcestershire sauce, as Jesse Sapullo, the great lineman for the San Francisco 49ers would say, W sauce. And then I've got pepper. I'm not going to use any salt in this because there's enough salt in the beans from the can, also from the bacon. Now, before we get started, let me show you what I do with bacon. Because, like I said, it's just Lisa and I. So when I buy bacon, I don't cook the whole strips like this anymore. I will take, let me grab one of my knives up here. I guess I show you my kitchen setup. I always do this, and I've been doing this for many years, in fact, because it's all about that portion control. I just slice my bacon in half, right? So that pound of bacon is now half a pound of bacon, and then I'll put it away. I just put half of it away in the freezer, right? I'll take it out of the package like this. And I've got Ziploc bags. I always keep my little Ziploc bags. And I'm gonna wash my hands after we do this, okay? That goes in there. This gets frozen. So when I eat a slice of bacon, I'm really just eating, 1/2 a piece of bacon because instead of a whole strip of bacon, right? It's just one of those tricks that you can do to yourself if you want to, cut down your portion or fool yourself with the portions, I call it. So here we go. And the bacon seems to last longer. I mean, look at that. Half a strip of bacon is plenty. So I'll make 2 strips or 2 halves, so I eat 1 strip of bacon. Now, we're gonna make our baked beans. So here's the way I love to make my baked beans. And I like doing it in my cast iron skillet, of course. So I'm gonna put a couple of strips of bacon on the bottom here. And we're gonna put this, I'm gonna do them on the stove top right now. I'm just gonna let these while we prep the other veggies. Now I want you to imagine I'm going to turn the stove top on, and you heard me move one of the cast iron skillets, and you heard the burner go on there. So I'm going to take and move this to the stove top, eventually I'll get a way to remote move my cameras, my iPhones. I'm shooting everything on the iPhone, and I'm going to keep another piece. Well, we'll use another piece later on. I'm going to put, I like to have some bacon on the top of the beans, okay? So I'm going to let these cook just to give us that base at the bottom there. We're going to put this bacon away. This will go in the fridge to be used another day, okay? Let me, there we go. I'm gonna freeze this one, the big bag, and then the other will go in the fridge to be used later, okay? Freezer, opening the fridge. And there we go, that goes in the fridge. Now let's get prepped up to do our, can you hear the bacon sizzling? I'm gonna move this out of the way. Yeah. We're going to prep our onion. I'm going to add those right to that pan as well. Waste not, want not, correct? I'm not going to cook that bacon all the way through. I'm just going to let it render some of that fat in that pan. I'm going to get you a shot of the bacon cooking, okay? Seeing our cameras so I can get a shot of the bacon, and I've got a shot here of our prep table. And the onions, I'm just chopping them up. The red onion and the Spanish onion I had in the fridge, just going to mix those all together. And just nothing fancy, just chopping it up. I really love onions in my baked beans, and so does Lisa. It's always good that, you know, we both like the same things. The meal tonight is going to be fried chicken, Mama's fried chicken, baked beans, and I was thinking about doing scalloped potatoes. However, that's a whole lot of starch. So I think we'll just make a salad to go along with this. Again, this is one of my garden fresh peppers. Well, it's not so fresh. I've had it in the fridge for about a week and a half, but it's from the garden. And the bacon is coming along nicely. I want to take one of these pieces of bacon. Let's just flip these over. See how that small bacon right there, just those half strips. So like if I make a breakfast burrito in the morning, I can just use one strip of bacon in the breakfast burrito, so you don't overdo it. Also, again, I want to point out, I'm only using one of the, in the old days, this was a 16-ounce can. Now they're 15 ounces. I'm just using one of those. That gives Lisa and I both 7.5 ounces each, which is a lot of baked beans. You see how you can tell that's been in just a bit. So I'm going to cut that away. I don't even use that part. I'm going to dice the peppers up. I'm going to add these right in with the bacon cooking there. And if you and I'm not over chopping them. I want these to be visible in the baked beans. So when we serve them up now, and if you want to make calico beans, just go ahead and add some ground beef, cook some ground beef and add to it. Then you've got the calico beans. You know, it's kind of a chuck wagon bean that the chuck wagon cooks would take leftover meats and things and add to the beans. Look at that. That looks so good. All right, now we're going to take these over and add them right to our bacon cooking there. I'm going to take 2 strips out though, because I want those to be on top of the beans. Let me see. I've got a cutting board to the left of the saute pan there. We're going to finish these off on the grill. Let's take our veggies over. Turn that flame back up just a bit. And we're going to let these cook 2 to 3 minutes. Just enough for the flavor to start to be released. Okay? Let me reset, do a little housekeeping. We'll come back. We will get the beans over on the work area, and we'll start adding our flavor to it. I'll get my can of Van de Kamp opened up. Be back in a minute. We're back at our workstation. Got my tools together here. The ingredients. Let's go ahead and get our baked beans. And remember, that cast iron holds heat very well. And if you want, you can go ahead and chop up those, chop up that bacon. But I like those big pieces of bacon in here. So let's add our Van de Kamp pork and beans and all the liquid that's in there. I'm not going to cover this. I'm going to put this on the grill, barbecue grill, and just let some of that moisture cook out. I'm not going to cook it right over the direct heat though, because you know it really will burn the bottom that way. However, you know, we cooked that bacon, so that gives us that nice little coating in the bottom. Ooh, look at that. I could actually, well, hey baby, should I make enough beans to have leftovers or? Nah, we're traveling later this week, so we're going to. Should I make enough baked beans to have some leftovers or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll eat them in the next few days.
You sure? Okay. All right. Because we're traveling later, and I just didn't want to. So I'm going to add more beans. I'm going to get another can of Van de Kamp pork and beans and add to that. As long as it doesn't.
Smells so good.
You like it? Yay! And then we will. Okay, I'm going to add a barbecue sauce, the barbecue sauce. Where the barbecue sauce? There we go. I'm going to add brown sugar. And I mix everything, and I want all that to get in there, though. I think if I add more beans, I might have to get a larger skillet out, and I don't want to do that. So I think we're going to stick with this amount, and I'll make her some more. And another. Oh, look at that! It's going to be nice. Just a little bit of pepper go in there. Let's do add our Worcestershire. Okay, mix it all up. All those beans and things. A little W sauce. A couple of good shakes. Boom, 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 boom. And just a bit of pepper, black pepper. And then we're going to go throw this on a barbecue grill. Mix all that pepper in because you don't want to burn up. Don't want to have one hot spot, okay? And what I'm going to do, those 2 strips of bacon that I had left over, we're going to float those on the top. Ooh, baby. Now, while the beans are cooking, we're going to come back in here and set up, and we're going to make the fried chicken. The chicken has been soaking in the butter, been marinated in the buttermilk for overnight. Well, yeah, overnight. So let's make some barbecue baked beans, and then we will fry chicken. Spread love. All right, well, let's go ahead and get the beans on the grill. It's at about 400 now. I'm going to put it on this right side, left side to you. Then I'm going to turn this lower it and turn the burner off. I love cast iron. Just love cooking with cast iron. Okay, 6:06. Let's let these cook for about 35 minutes. And then it'll be chow time. Let's go fry some chicken. 3, 2, 1. All right, tomorrow we're having some guests over. Some friends over, Rob and Cindy Bloom. They're here from Hawaii. And I'm going to do some barbecued ribs. And I'm also going to do chicken, Cornish hen, I should say. And one hen I'm going to fry. The other I'm going to barbecue. So it's about 9 o'clock. Saturday evening, and I'm going to go ahead and prep slice the bird up. I'm going to put in buttermilk and salt and pepper. Let this soak overnight, marinate, soak overnight. So let's get started. I've got my cutting board here, the wooden cutting board, and I like having the ridges. This way, if there's any blood, anything that trickles off, it's caught in the ridges, and you don't contaminate the rest of your cooktop. Did I say cooktop? Your working area, okay? And that is always that wet paper towel underneath the cutting board, whether it's a wooden cutting board, silicone, whatever, it just locks it into place. Previously, I've cut through the breastplate for you, so I thought I'd do it the other way tonight. I turn it over and show you how easy it is to cut from the backbone. Here's the center of the back, but I'm going to go just to the side of right off the center line, right, and just split through. I'm going to press my blade. I'm going to try not to block this shot. I want you to see how that backbone cuts through. And I'm using my Cutco blades tonight. The Vustoff's out in the studio. Look at that. That's a nice clean cut. And then you just go ahead and kind of, take out any of those little pieces that are stuck in between the backbone, parts of the liver and things like that. Some people are squeamish about this, and I don't want you to be, because, cooking for people you love, this is how you do it. I remember watching my grandmother as a little boy. She would actually butcher the chicken from start to finish. I'm not going to describe that to you. Those of you that with country roots know what I'm talking about. So those are two nice halves of the Cornish hen, okay? And again, we just remove the wing. Just cut right through. You can see a little tendon there. Just take your time. You can make a nice little cut right through there, and you have to have that whole little piece come off. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and simple. Now here we go, the leg piece. The leg, there's this thigh portion. And again, you can reach down and kind of just feel that little joint bone. And right through there. If you look through this side, you can kind of bend it. And you see right there, there's an easy little spot to cut it. You see how that goes? And then just follow the ridge, follow the curvature of that thigh and leg. See how easy that is? Now, because the Cornish hens are so small, I leave that attached. If I was using if I was preparing a full-size chicken or hen, I might cut through that, and it's easy to do as well. You can just kind of see that wiggle spot there. I'm going to show you, even with this Cornish hen. Again, you take your knife and you can feel in there till you get to that little cartilage, and it cuts right through. You see how easy that cuts? There we go. Okay. I'm going to take the lid off of my container, and we can start putting our pieces of, as we say in the South, our yard bird in there. Okay, this has already been washed, but it doesn't hurt. You can wash it again if you're worried about any bone dust being on there. Beautiful little chicken breast right there. Little Cornish hen breast. Okay, same way. And there's our wing. All the pieces go in there. Again, just feel for the little joint and just let your knife do the work. That's so easy. Look at that. Okay. And if you want, of course, you could remove that little wing there, that little flapper. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm cutting from the top side this time. See how that is there? Come right through. You see that okay at home? And a nice, good chef's knife can cut right through there. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. And I left the little chicken rear on there. I think I've told you the story about me and those chicken rears, right? There we go. A lot of places remove that little, that's the backbone, okay? And I think I'll go ahead and cut that off for you. And it's funny, my mother would cook those chicken backs. Oh my Lord. You know, and it was so good. There's not much meat on there, but what is there is really tasty. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands, dry them, and then we will go and add our salt and pepper, and we'll put the buttermilk in and marinate overnight. So be right back. Well, I've gone ahead and done a little cleanup here. Got our bird there. I got the salt pepper mixture, and I'm just going to sprinkle it. I'm not really worried about turning the bird over, because once we add the buttermilk, everything will get that seasoning. And if you want to add a little paprika, whatever else you wanted to your yard bird, that is cool. Okay, and I'm just going to cover all our chicken with the buttermilk. And this will marinate overnight. Tomorrow we'll be ready to fry. So we got the chicken I fried the other day. We'll have this, and I'm going to the two different type of buttermilk and one without. All right, peace, spread love. Into the refrigerator. Okay, the beans have been cooking for about 30 minutes. Let's take a look at them, see how they're coming along. Oh yeah. A little longer. I lowered the heat way down, so I'm going to cover that back up and let them cook just a bit more. I'm going to get the two sides going. Let's get back into our chicken. To my left is the Marriott Resort and Spa, Waikiki. That's where Lisa and I have been staying this week. I'm going to take you inside to meet an incredible chef. We might do a hula dance or two. And who knows, I might even try to swallow fire. No, I'm not going to try to do the fire dance. All right, y'all, so we're in Hawaii having the best time. Aloha means hello. It can also mean goodbye. And also, I love you. So aloha from the island of Oahu, the district of Waikiki, the beach, baby. Let's go cook. Spread love. Hey y'all, it's me, Chef Curtis, with my new friend, Chef
Nuno.
Now, Chef, thanks for inviting us into your kitchen. I'm telling you, y'all, I get chicken skin because I'm with a brother here. Portuguese background?
Portuguese background, yeah. I'm originally from the Azores, San Miguel. Moved to Boston, grew up there with my family. So
wow.
I moved over when I was like 5 years old. One of 11. So I grew up cooking with my mom and my dad.
Slow down, time out, yo. Did y'all hear what he said? 1 of 11. I don't have enough fingers to do that. All right, Chef, put one more finger up for us. Okay, so that's
me.
11.
That was me.
Where do you fall in that line?
I'm the baby.
The baby? Oh my goodness.
Save the best for last.
Oh, okay. Either save the best for last, or like in my case, they threw me out with the. No, I'm totally kidding. Mom was great. Yeah. So, Chef, we are at this beautiful resort.
Yep.
Will you name it for the folks out there?
Yeah, this is a Marriott Resort Spa in Waikiki. So we're located right on Kalakaua Avenue, right across the street from Queensbreak, which is the surf break. So that's why
that's the restaurant
yes.
name. Ah,
so that ties it in.
Well, you got your gloves on. So. Waikiki, photographs circa 1900. Wow, one of those great old surfers. Now this plaque stands at the corner of Well, it's right at the end of the Queen's Break, and it says Waikiki means sprouting water because it was a vast marshland fed by many streams. You're in fact standing on what was the mouth of an old stream, and I can't pronounce that. I better get my friend Will Komura to pronounce that for me. From the ancient times, Waikiki has been a popular surfing spot, which is one of the reasons why the chiefs made their homes and headquarters here for hundreds of years. This is the land of kings and queens, thus the name Queen's Break outside. I just absolutely love this spot. Now, I'm going to pan. You left Massachusetts. How'd you end up in Hawaii, bro? Tell the truth now.
My wife, I was lucky.
You followed a beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a wahine. That's a one. Is wahine? Is that the correct
Wahine,
term?
yeah.
He followed a beautiful wahine to Waikiki. So the thing that I'm looking at the resort things that we can do, the things that the resort offers, and I saw the hula lessons I took yesterday.
Yeah, cool.
Right, and then I see poke. They're going to teach us how to make poke. So I figured go right to the source. Now, chef, what is poke?
Poke, it's very, poke just means cubed.
Really?
Anything cubed. So everybody relates poke to ahi because we have the biggest ahi supplier around and everything. And that's really traditional to the Hawaiian culture because they went out and caught the ahi, they bring it in, they dice it up, and that became the poke.
So poke. Now, all right, y'all, did my head just blow up? Because, okay, I always thought poke was just a fish dish, but poke is a term like mise en place.
Yep.
It just means to cube. I love that. Okay, the tasting. Time to taste the chicken. Chicken tasting time. It's a wrapper. Welcome back to my lovely kitchen. Let's taste the chicken first. And y'all know how much I love wangs. So let's do a wang. It's a wang thing. Oh yeah. Love myself some wangs. All right. I'm just eating from the pan. I'm gonna taste the beans. I think I'm gonna serve this up with a nice little shot in there. Or a Chianti with some probably. No, it's terrible, isn't it? That Worcestershire sauce just adds a little smoky to it.